Good evening. Thank you for watching or tuning in with me, Dorothea, on Through an Orthodox Christian Lens. It is July 3rd, 2025. I have a story to share with you, a very lovely story. I love traditions, and I love my faith. I love the Orthodox faith, and traditions different from mine that I find lovely as well. And this is what this is about. I'm going to be reading you a beautiful story by Marianne Pullis, and it's called Native American Pathways to Orthodoxy. I first felt the words of Christ come to life on a Pueblo Indian reservation in New Mexico at Okeowinke, place of the strong people. The first time I stepped into the home of my Pueblo friend, I was told, "This is not just my home, it is yours too. And know that you always have a place to come home to, no matter how long it takes you to return." How Christ-like this Indian elder was. The more our friendship grew, the more I was able to admire his goodness. Once I even saw him give the last of his money to an enemy. I also began to learn more of his people's history. When the Spanish first came to the Southwest, they called the Indians pagans. By force, the colonizers converted them to Catholicism. They severely beat and hung many tribal leaders unless they allowed themselves to be baptized immediately. They were made slaves. They were given Spanish names. The Pueblo, as a name, did not exist yet. To themselves, they were simply known only as the people. So it was in this atmosphere of evil the people were introduced to Christ for the very first time. Despite the surrounding cruelty in which the word came to them, they accepted it anyway. And this is what made the Native Americans such great Christians. They forgave their enemies. To many Native American elders, the word and the way of Christ seem so much like the teachings of the Great Spirit, the teachings the Great Spirit had given to them. When they heard the scriptures, they were convinced of Jesus, but they wondered why these bringers of his word were so unlike him, searching the Southwest for the mystic 7 cities of God. My elder friend told me, "We knew where the gold was, but you see, in an Indian way, it would be bad for the people. It might make us greedy or start fighting, so we just left it buried there." In the Indian way, a person's worth was not determined by what he could accumulate, but by how much he could give. Another native friend of mine once told me, "Our ancestors grew up fearing the cross. To them, it had become a symbol of violence and death, comparable to the swastika." Oof. One can only wonder how it would have been had the Pueblo Indians been introduced to Christ through the Orthodox Christian Church like the Aleutian people of Alaska. The Aleuts, who were not monotheistic, were taught the Christian gospel over a period of then years, and not so much by teaching and preaching, but by personal example. The life of Orthodox Saint Herman of Alaska was one of humble service to the Kodiak people. His miracles and healing and prophecies concerning the future confirmed the Sugpak faith in Orthodox Christianity. Today, Alaska has become the home of 4 Orthodox saints, all who have been canonized by the Church. This includes the martyred Kodiak Aleut, Peter, who died under torture in California for refusing to renounce Orthodoxy after being captured by the Spanish. Perhaps there are many pathways to the giver of life, who is everywhere present, who fills all things. But the question remains, can one reject Christ and still achieve spiritual wholeness? The famous medicine man Black Elk believed the Indian tradition had been given by God to prepare the Indians for the revelation of Christ. In comparing the various Native American traditions to the mystic heart of the ancient Orthodox Christian tradition, the original persecuted Christian Church of Christ, we can find several corresponding links supporting this very idea. In both traditions, we begin prayers by offering sweet fragrance to our Father in heaven, or in the Native American tradition, to Sky Father. The Native Americans honor the great mystery in all the directions and pray facing east, just as we Orthodox face east in prayer. The bishops of the Orthodox Church face east, south, west, and north to honor the sun, Jesus Christ, rising in all the directions. The traditional American Indian idea of the Creator is expressed as the Great Mystery and the Great Spirit. The Orthodox Church also shares the notion of God as mystery, expressed beautifully by Bishop Callistus Ware in his book The Orthodox Way. He writes how the Greek fathers, quote, liken man's encounter with God to the experience of someone walking over the mountains in the mist. He takes a step forward and suddenly finds that he is on the edge of a precipice, with no solid ground beneath his foot, but only a bottomless abyss. Our normal assumptions are shattered, and so it proves to be for each one who follows the spiritual way. We go out from the known to the unknown. We advance from light into darkness. We do not simply proceed from the darkness of ignorance into the light of knowledge, but we go forward into greater knowledge, which is so much more profound. And if the Holy Spirit as the dynamic, as opposed to the still aspect of God in Orthodoxy, can be equated to the Native American concept of the Great Spirit, then perhaps we have reached the point where Christianity can be presented as the fulfillment of Indian tradition. In a new aspect of God, God as person, a God who came to us to show his humble love for us, a God who experienced manhood out of his deep sympathy. In his ecstatic love, God unites himself to his creation in the closest of all possible unions, by himself becoming that which he has created. Behold, I make all things new, Revelation 21:5. This does not mean we replace or destroy the old. Many aspects of the Orthodox tradition correspond directly to the ancient beliefs of Native Americans, and perhaps this ancient window can also provide us with a greater scope of the deep Christ heart. One of our old holy men said, quote, every step you take on earth should be a prayer. The power of a pure and good soul is in every person's heart and will grow as a seed as you walk in a sacred manner. And if every step you take is a prayer, then you will always be walking in a sacred manner. Charmaine Whiteface Oglala Lakota. So, there you go. I thought that was beautiful. I loved the respect for the Native Americans in this, and the understanding, the mystery of the faith, which is what Orthodoxy says a lot. Lots of mysteries in the faith. Through God, God's energies, and there's mysteries there, and in the spirit. And I really love how he talks about. I mean, it's just the aspects of Native American, this particular one, the Pueblo. It just sounds very spiritual, very much like the Orthodoxy, and it's just very interesting how they could easily come to Christ, but each religion has a kernel of truth, and so this is a really wonderful story. It's a beautiful story. I love how she talked about that the friend of hers, the Pueblo friend, told her that one of my favorite lines was, "And know that you always have a place to come home to, no matter how long it takes you to return." That's just so Christ-like, as she said. And that Native Americans are such great Christians because they forgave their enemies. So true. And so, and you know, it talks about the Aleuts, as we discussed the other day with Saint Olga. Very humble people, and that's what's so wonderful about. Because humbleness is what we all are supposed to have, a humble and contrite heart. We're supposed to be humble servants of God, not arrogant, prideful, which there's so much of in this world, especially in this country. But anyway, I wanted to share that with you. I hope it was beneficial for you and that it uplifted you. And so, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and follow my YouTube channel and my Rumble channel. Share my videos, like my videos if you like them. Comment on them if anything comes to mind that you would like to share. Your thoughts on from the videos. And I hope you have a blessed evening. I don't think I'm going to be able to get another video in tonight. It's late, but maybe tomorrow I'll get to another one. Thanks again for all your support. Have a blessed night. Until next time.